Pleased to announce that Tara Dominguez, who is a registered nurse, board certified nurse coach, and she's dedicated advocate to holistic health and wellness. She's got 18 years of nursing experience in critical care and has a deep, passionate, and empowering individuals. Sorry, my dog decided to pop in. Tara specializes in the guidance of those with chronic illness, including breast implant illness, otherwise known as BII, through transformation healing practitioners that integrate the mind, body, and spirit. As the CEO of Crossover to Wellness, Tara provides personalized coaching programs to inspire hope and support long-term health transformations. Her unique approach combines evidence-based holistic principles, patient advocacy, compassionate care, helping clients to reclaim their vitality and purpose. Tara brings her expertise and commitment to the integrative health care to her role as the board member of Integrated Hope for Healing. She's dedicated in raising awareness about chronic illness, recovery, champion functional and holistic care, and advancing the organization's vision to make mind, body, soul healing accessible, affordable, and seamlessly integrated into traditional health medical practices. And I just want to say how proud I am to introduce Tara to you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anne. That was beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to put this on presentation mode. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my story. It was a warm, late August California morning, probably like 7:30. I was in the express lanes on the 91 freeway and preparing for my upcoming exit. I was on the phone with my mom, sun glaring off of the windshield, 5 lanes of traffic. It wasn't too crazy though. It was a Sunday morning. I'm driving to work, scrubs on, coffee in hand, the typical 12-hour nursing shift ahead of me. But in those moments, my body just suddenly betrayed me. This happened before. My chest was squeezing, felt like I couldn't breathe. It's a full body experience where I just felt like I'm dropping in the elevator. Free falling. It's terrifying. My vision blurring, and I'm in the middle, crossing over on the 91 freeway, 5 lanes of traffic. In a panic, and by God's grace, I made it to the side of the road, sweating, shaking, gripping the wheel, and I could feel myself slipping away from consciousness. I dialed 911. I couldn't believe that this was even happening again. I honestly don't remember hanging up the phone with my mom. I don't remember the conversation with the operator. I don't remember anything other than speaking with a female and just hearing her say, help is on the way. But as soon as she said that, that was a moment where everything was restored. I came back. I was like, okay. Told the operator I'd be okay. Just please cancel the call. And I remember promising her I'd go to the ER because I'm a nurse after all. I was just 15 minutes away. So honestly, like, do you think I went to the ER? No, I knew how it would go. I would walk in, get the labs, the scans, see the specialists, and end up leaving essentially thousands of dollars poor with the same words echoing in my ears that you're fine. You're probably having anxiety. It's just anxiety. I'm going to write you a script for Xanax. And I'll have you follow up with your cardiologist in 2 weeks. Like, clearly I'm not fine, but I also knew deep down, like, I'm not crazy either. But I also knew what was making me sick. I am a nurse after all. So it was in that 15-minute drive to work was the moment that I decided there was no more waiting. There was no more saving. I had been saving up for my explant surgery for 8 months. But it was that day I could have died. I could have killed someone else. And absolutely no saving for a freaking surgery was worth that risk. So I worked my 12-hour shift as usual. The next morning, I got up and I called Dr. Sayed in La Jolla. Had my consultation 2 weeks out from that. And then 9/11 of 2020, I had my explant surgery. And just like that, I thought I solved it, right? Explant, source is gone. But actually, I suffered even more so for about 6 months. I kept suffering. And then even for 2 years out from that, I kept suffering. So what did I do? What do we do as humans? We're finding that next best thing that was potentially making me sick. So then I was led to my amalgams, my silver tooth fillings in my mouth. And in July 2022, I went and had 3 of them removed. And that unexpectedly sent my nervous system into total chaos on day 3. I'm not even kidding when I say I lost my freaking mind. This is a part of my life that was so dark. I was terrified of my own thoughts. I literally felt like I could not survive one more minute. I could not survive one more thought. But it was in those moments that I was just terrified and suffering and debating whether or not to actually take my life, that I also found my healing. You see, I didn't have a choice but to find the thoughts that would save my life. I was hysterical. I realized nobody was coming to save me. I could only do this myself. And it was in my pain, I just surrendered everything to God, just tears, hands up, and just literally one step at a time, one thought at a time. He just led me to that next thing, that next step. And I slowly improved. What I realized was that all this time, all these years, I was looking for external fixes, and they weren't the answer. Because I started to ask myself, what if it was actually my brain that had been keeping me so sick? It wasn't a doctor's office. It wasn't another protocol, but it was rewiring the part of me that had been actually wired for fear, for vigilance, for illness, because I'd been suffering for so long. It just built up all over all the years. And in the process of having to choose and battle my every thought and turning to the Holy Spirit it was me creating safety within my own body. My nervous system was able to calm and my symptoms actually started to fade. the most beautiful part is just I started to have hope. Um, and I've never gone back. Now, I don't get me wrong, like I do not deny that my implants were making me sick, but it was my thoughts throughout all these years. And so rewiring that and calming my nervous system, connecting to God, but also nourishing my physical body, just taking that holistic approach is what actually brought me back to life. When our brains are wired for fear, there's just absolutely no protocol that's going to stick. But on the flip side of that, if our brain, if we believe that we are safe and we're healing, everything's possible. It is possible to heal. So how does this happen? Like what is the science behind it? Thoughts, they do impact our health and our healing. Everything is intertwined and communicates. In Western medicine, we have essentially segregated our parts to where we go see a neurologist for anything with the brain, the nervous system. We go see a cardiologist for the heart. But when we go to functional medicine and also holistic medicine, we are looking at ourselves as whole beings. Our brain and our body is connected. They communicate. Messages travel from our brain to our body, but also from our body up to the brain. And there's so many lines of communication. We have our chemical lines of communication. These are our neurotransmitters, our hormones. We have our electrical messengers. These are our neurons. Our neurons can be very tiny, like a millimeter up to like 3 feet long. They can be very long. So with brain down, what I really want you to understand here is that our thoughts trigger feelings, our emotions. And it's actually the feelings and the emotions that trigger our brain activity. So the messages are sent via the lines of communication that I just discussed, and the body systems are affected. So immunity, our gastric system, cardiovascular, endocrine, all the systems are affected by these lines of communication. When we think about a stressful thought, what is the underlying feeling or emotion? It could be fear. And with fear, we release cortisol, we release adrenaline. Cortisol, this affects how our body uses glucose for energy. Um, it affects inflammation. Now, cortisol in short bursts can actually decrease inflammation and increase our immunity, but when it's chronic, it's the other way around. Cortisol is now increasing inflammation and decreasing our immune system. But it also affects blood pressure, our sleep and wake cycle. Adrenaline, this is our fight or flight. Our blood pressure can go up, our heart rate, our breath, our alertness. But that's because the blood is being rushed to all of like to our muscles, to where we can respond. So then it's taken away from our digestive tract. So that's going to slow down digestion. When we're slowing down our digestion, now we're not able to nourish ourselves with the nutrients. So I'm not going to go through all of this. I do have an opportunity for you to have the slides, but this down here, I'm just talking about, again, cortisol, being in a chronic state of release of cortisol, disrupting, the rest, digest, repair, blood sugar, memory, metabolism. So body up, multiple ways the body talks to our brain. We all have heard of the gut-brain axis. This is our second brain or the enteric nervous system. This communicates also electrical versus chemical. Electrical would be our vagus nerve. The chemical is the gut microbes, which Cecily talked about beautifully, and how important it is to consume a lot of plant-rich to increase those good microbiome, because they produce our neurotransmitters, such as like serotonin and dopamine and GABA. So they are what's going to be talking to our brain. Now, our hormones could be that affect our brain, could be something like cortisol, again, telling our brain, hello, we are in survival mode. Insulin can signal our brain about our blood sugar and energy. The thyroid influences our ability to focus, but also mental clarity. Cecily also touched on the cytokines being released. This was very prominent cytokine storm during COVID, but this is massive inflammation or infection that causes the cytokine release. And it can affect your mood, your energy, and also mental clarity. But also our posture can talk to our brain, our movement, our breath. So are we taking those deep breaths or are we more shallow? Because this can affect our brain's perception of if we're actually safe or if we are in a state of some kind of threat. Now, we also have all of our cells throughout our body that are also talking to one another. So that is another way of communication. Ian Brown, he said that cells are actually hoarders. They hoard our emotions, our thoughts, and previous experiences. Today you may hear how the body keeps the score, but that's a whole other topic. All right, so neuroplasticity, brain rewiring, like what is it? It's basically the brain's ability to change and adapt by forming new neural connections. And this means you can literally train your brain to think, feel, respond in healthier ways. No matter how many years of chronic stress, illness, or negativity you have experienced throughout your lifetime, it can be rewired. The brain is not fixed as it once was believed. Now, have you ever taken notice, maybe of like when you're having a fearful thought? And have you actually observed, taken the time to observe, like what is actually shifting and happening within your body? So for me, when I'm fearful or nervous, I can feel my legs tense, and I also can feel my abdomen very tense. I notice my heart is kind of speedy, and my breathing is very shallow. So this is the whole brain body connection at work based off of a thought, a fear, a fearful thought. Essentially, everything that is up here is also down throughout. Everything is intertwined. And our brains are actually energy efficient. They like to conserve energy. So this is why We have our habitual thinking and our patterns and our doing because our brain's like the road that is most traveled. It wants to, again, take the easy route. And so if our brain is wired for negativity, our brain's going to loop in that negativity in that pattern. And this can look like our limiting beliefs, um, fear-based thinking, self-criticism, having that victim mentality, perfectionism. I still struggle in that area. um, Identifying with our diagnosis. This is big because it's we say things like I have BII, but we really need to detach ourselves from that label. Because when we attach ourselves to that label, again, our thoughts, our words, and everything is telling our body how to respond. It's going to respond as having BII. Replaying medical traumas, keep looping all the gaslighting and all the issues that we've have experienced over the years that is paving that negative pathway for the brain. I also talk about relationships having an effect on our thoughts, our behaviors, and just our overall well-being. So a lack of boundaries can also increase that negative brain loop. Comparison, hopelessness. Hopelessness is, I know I felt this. I'm going to die. Nobody's going to help me. I'll never get better. Why am I sick? All of those things were looping around in my head over and over. But on the flip side, like positive mental thoughts and habits, such as like gratitude, reframing, which I'm going to talk about those things in a moment, they rewire us for healing and for peace. And it is actually our responsibility to take our thoughts captive. In the Bible, it tells us in 2 Corinthians 10:5, we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. So who is this for? First, I just want to say, like, you do not need to lose your mind like I did to need brain rewiring. And I actually suggest you take notice that maybe you might need some help and to seek that support, so that if you do have that thing that could potentially push you off the ledge, you don't get to that place that I was at. But some of the reasons why you might want to do this is if you're like struggling with chronic illness or any kind of mystery symptoms, right? We all know that we can go to the doctor, get all the tests, and everything comes out normal. And obviously, that happens a lot with BII, but I also see this a lot with chronic illness, individuals with chronic illnesses. If you're feeling stuck and no matter what you're doing, how healthy you're taking care of your body, all the things that you're doing, and you're still sick, brain rewiring is probably for you. If you are living in fear, stress, or that what if thinking, again, brain rewiring is for you. If you feel like your body's working against you and not for you, and then also if you've tried all the fixes, all the things, and you're still sick, there very well could be a thought process that is happening. And practical ways to rewire. So we can develop an awareness of thoughts. Like you literally have to take a log of your thoughts, think about what you're thinking about, and you reframe to a positive. And then you want to reinforce, and repeat that over and over. And it takes work. You have to, because our thoughts, they come in and we don't even realize what we're thinking. So it is a very conscious thing that we have to do. Um, for example, the thought that I'm always sick. We can rewire that by giving ourselves some love and grace and saying, you know what? My body is sending me signals and I'm learning to listen and to respond with love. Or maybe it might look like healing is actually happening, even if it's not obvious yet. So that's what you want to hold on to and you want to repeat. I love this one. Practicing gratitude. This should be done daily. This trains your brain to look for what's actually working, what's actually good in your life, what's actually good in your body. No matter how small it is, it adds up. Whatever you focus on expands. So if you're focused on not getting well, you're going to see more of that. But if you're focusing on, you know what? Hey, today I was actually able to do the dishes. That's a win. That is something to be grateful for and have gratitude. And you'll see more, you'll eventually get to a point where you're able to see more and more of that. I also teach about having identity-based habits. So this is being your future self, being that healed individual. So you have to think like your healed self, having that vision of what your healed self actually looks like, what your healed self actually feels. Because remember, it's the feelings that create the brain reaction. So really feeling into that, and then your actions will follow. Another one, falling in love with the small joys, even if it's just smelling the rain or hearing the birds chirp, creating a new routine. This wires new pathways. And this could look like taking a new route to work. Or maybe instead of brushing your teeth with your right hand, you brush with your left. That's going to create the good neurochemical like dopamine, the feel good. But also trusting your gut and your intuition. So when you start making decisions based on just like subtle body cues, being able to tap into like what is actually happening from within, and you respond to that and you respond to your body, what your body's telling you, you start to build trust and you can calm your nervous system. And then I did mention about celebrating the small wins, being able to wash the dishes, getting up out of bed, whatever it is for you, because this is actually going to be a positive feedback loop. And your brain's going to want to keep getting that little hit of dopamine, and it's going to be encouraging for you. Prayer and meditation reduces stress, calms the nervous system. And then also practicing detachment, releasing control. This was my moment. Remember in my story how I was saying I just had to hands up, like surrender to God, because for all those years I had been gripping and trying to control what was happening to me and trying to just get that next stage of healing, just trying to find that next thing. But the more I did that, the more I wired my brain for that fear and believing that maybe I can't get better, that there's no solution. Whereas instead, if you just release the control to God and trust yourself, you trust the journey and know that God is working all things for your good, everything can change for you. I don't know if anyone knows like Mel Robin, but she has that like that let them theory. And she talks about letting go of the oars. And she gives an example of like you're trying to go upstream in, I don't know, let's say a canoe. And it's really hard when you're just fighting against the current. And that's what it's like when we have chronic illness or our BII. We're fighting and fighting and fighting. But if we could just let go of the oars and allow the boat to turn around and go downstream and flow, things just start to come into it, just things start to happen for us. So my final thoughts, Western medicine, it's, they have conditioned us to basically not trust our body, its responses, and its ways of healing. We're always rushing, like I said, just to get that next thing, get that next medicine, get that next test. And it scares us when we get symptoms. We're looking outwardly to find all the answers. We're Googling all the things. But answers are actually within. We just need to be able to stop, slow down, trust, and listen. And we can start doing that by viewing our body as just like this beautiful vessel that's constantly fighting on our behalf, keeping us safe and alive. Look at how much we've been through, and we are still here today. Our body's done such hard work. God created us so intricately with so many bells and whistles. I call this our symptoms to alert us. We have so many checks and balances within our bodies that just are operating to keep us at or working at our greatest potential, even when threats are present. So the issue is it's not our body. Our body's doing everything right. It is working for us. It's not against us. It just really needs a little extra love, support, grace, gratitude, and the right environment, which we've discussed thoroughly throughout this, all these beautiful presentations. Really take time to nourish our mind, our body, and our spirit. And you can seek your healing journey. You can be on the healing journey and get out on the other side. I do want to offer a no charge 5-day challenge, and I've opened up my schedule. If you feel called to do so, you can scan the QR code just to schedule our 15-minute call. And I do a call just so I can better tailor the challenge to your needs. And then also, as I mentioned, I'm open to sending these slides out to anyone. So if you want the slides, just email me at my email listed here and I will get them out to you. And I appreciate you all and thank you.
Wow, Tara. I think we can all say this, and I've got messages. You couldn't see the chat, but everybody, we're just like we're crying for happy tears. You have touched our hearts. Thank you so much. What a perfect ending to this incredible event with all these incredible women here. we're so grateful that you've been here to attend, to uplift, to collaborate and connect. So thank you so much to all those who spoke. We're really grateful for your time. And for those that are attending, we just want you to know that you're loved and we appreciate you. And we're so grateful that you're here to be uplifted at this beautiful event today. So I'm going to turn the time over to Anne and Nikki to close our event.
Oh, I have
And-
one question. For
Oh,
Tara.
yes, of
Just
course,
one.
Lisa.
Sorry, I'm still like that. I've been telling my boyfriend as I'm writing the story, because I'm doing so much writing now and there's so much bad in it. I just keep feeling post-traumatic stress, and it's part of what's taken me so long to really, really write. I have this timeline of awful, but sitting and writing and reliving it, and I know I have to do it. What do I do in the midst of that? Because I have to do it and I have to get it out. But I always get this feeling like the walls are just closing in as I'm writing. Like I literally want to get up from my computer and walk away. Ideas.
That is your body talking to you. You wanting to get up and walk away is like your body needs that moment to get grounded, to feel safe again. And so honor that. Go outside, take a walk, even go barefoot. Give yourself some love.
I might never get done. I'm just kidding.
You're
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
welcome.
Does anybody else have something that they would like to say or any questions for Tara?
I want to just say, this is Moj. I just want to say that, Tara, what you shared was so wonderful, because as as most of us might be practicing most of these techniques, but they also say when you're in, you can't read the label from inside. So it's always good to hear these again from somebody else, because we might be, all of us in some shape or different form helping others to do the same things. But then, I can also notice at times that I get into those traps, and it's always so good to let go of that aspects of, oh, I'm here to help, to also receive that wisdom and that help. So thank you for all of you, from the presenters to you guys who facilitated this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I also want to say what a beautiful event this was today. And Tara, you just did a great job to finish us out today. So touching and so vulnerable. I so much appreciated what you had to say in your presentation, and how beautiful you are, and just your spirit. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. Gonna make me cry.
Join the rest of us.
I had a tissue ready because I knew I was going to cry during my story.
Right, Cecily, I'll let you take over. Thank
Oh,
you,
no.
Cecily, for planning all this. She really was the mind and the work behind putting this whole thing together. I just want to appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Cecily.
Yeah.
So much work.
And she put it all together, our background, the organizing everything. So thank you, Cecily. You did a fantastic job, and so much credit goes to you for it. So thank you. It was an incredible event. Everybody, I really wish to expand on each one of the speakers and their knowledge and the topic that they spoke with, because an hour per speaker really just wasn't enough at this point in time.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Anne and Lisa. Thank you so much. Really, it is such a joy to have this. We just need to do these things. And you know, as women, we need to have that community, and then being able to share our knowledge together. I think that's such a beautiful gift that we can offer each other. And I just wanted to, I mean, I'm going to turn the time over to Nikki and Anne to close it out. But if there's anything else that anybody would like to say, I don't want to close it out too soon, but if there's anything that I do want to say one thing about Integrative Hope for Healing, just once again, make awareness. We are trying to spread awareness of women's health advocacy. That's what we're about, is to spread that awareness. And functional medicine, we want to make functional medicine protocols available for women who are very, very sick, not just with breast implants, but with other illnesses. And that is, we want to do research. We want to put together protocols. We want to work with doctors that do functional medicine protocols. This is our goal at Integrative Hope for Healing, and we are working diligently. I know Lisa's working diligently to get us in that direction. So thank you for helping us spread that awareness and being here today.
Thank you, Cecily and Lisa.
Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to, I guess, just turn the time over quickly for Anne and Nikki to say goodbyes, and then we will go ahead and end this amazing, inspiring, and uplifting event.
Well, I think most of us kind of said everything. If anybody has anything else, put it in the chat so that we can get with you. Add your phone number and email if you have something else that you wish to discuss. That way we can get with you. And I know Cecily's always hosting wonderful interviews and everything on her Facebook page. And I think a lot of us have said a lot. So I thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to Nikki.
Well, thank you guys all for showing up, and for everyone for being here together with everyone. And thank you for all the help that all of you have put in for years before I realized I was sick, while I was sick, and the future ahead. And just love you all.
Perfect. All right, everyone, we're gonna sign off, but wishing everyone a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.